Hello and welcome to Chocolate Covered Games. This is our monthly melt for April of 2023. And to start, Tim got to choose our 5 segment.
Yep, every month we do a list of 5 things.
So what'd you pick for this month?
This month was board game related, and it was our top 5 favorite tile placement games.
Okay.
For those who don't know, tile placement games are games where you have tiles and or some card ones you claim that you essentially make the board up as you go or manipulate the field by placing tiles down.
Yeah, so just sitting here, I redid my order because I know that my number 1, you already told me you don't consider a tile placement game.
Well, because it was the cards.
It's cards.
I mean, BGG says it's tile placement.
Yeah.
I guess in the realm of the mechanics of it, it is.
Yeah.
But I would call it card placement.
Well,
but I guess there's not enough of those to be their own category kind of thing.
So I will say that because I rearranged, my number 5 went off. So I guess I start anyways.
Yep, because it was my thing. So
all right. So this became my number 6. I'll just start out there because this is me.
Yep.
Was Gunky Mono. But that got knocked off my list because I was like, you know what? I'm just moving this to number 1.
Okay.
I'm moving a 1 into number 1 that you didn't think, but.
So wait, now Gunky Mono is your 1?
No.
Okay, it's your 6.
It's my 6.
Okay.
No, I moved a different one into number 1, which bumped Gunky Mono from 5 to 6.
Okay.
So my number 5. I'm guessing maybe on your list later, or who knows when, but I'm pretty sure it's probably on your list, and that's King Domino.
It is not.
Really?
It was close. I really enjoyed King Domino, but you know, it'd probably be in my top 10. Yeah.
King Domino is very simple, where you're taking the domino-looking tiles. And then you place it and try to get different size lands of like fields and
woods,
mines.
Yep.
So you're building your little kingdom with these domino shaped tiles.
So you prefer this over Queen Domino?
Yes, I like the simpler version.
And neither of us have tried the one that everybody claims is his best, which is Origins.
Yeah.
Which I really want to try just for the fact that everybody says it's the best version of the game.
Yeah. But no, I like the simple King Domino version of it. Even at 2 players, I thought it worked well. That's how we first played it. So again, simple. It's one of those gateway games, and it's gateway filler type.
Yeah, it's about 10 to 15 minutes at most.
So it fits the type of gaming that I like. So my number 5 is King Domino.
My number 5, which I'm almost guaranteed not on your list, which I think should be on your list because you had a blast playing this game. And the game is Zombies.
That's a tile placement game?
Yep. Remember, you place the tile because you don't know where the choppers come in. You place the tiles down and then you put your zombies on there.
I didn't even think that was a tile placement game.
Yeah, that's a tile placement game. Because you didn't know where you were going. You get the things, you put it down and tell you how many to add because you were...
I loved the game. It was a blast.
Yeah. It's a fun game. And there's, I think, 12 standalones, 14
I don't know.
There's a ton of zombies. The one we played was Director's Cut.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Yep, it's a fun game. It's a game I wouldn't expect to be on my list because we're not into, like, horror games. But it's not, like...
I didn't think of it that way, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be, like, you're overrun by zombies because every time you place down a tile, it would be, like, 6, and you put, like, 6 zombies down, and then you put the next... be, like, 8.
Yeah, I just had a blast with it.
I mean, it's a fun game.
So now thinking about this, I do think I know one that probably made your list that I absolutely just did not like at all. But you really did.
Yeah, it's probably my next one, too.
So my number 4. They do list this as tile placement, which it is, but then you manipulate the tiles after you place them.
Okay.
So this is Jarl It's actually a Viking tile laying game.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
in the title.
Well, it's tile laying, not placement, but laying is placement.
Yeah.
I saw that too. I'm like,
So Jarl is the sequel to the Duke.
yeah, standalone.
It's a standalone sequel. Yeah, it's not an expansion. It's a sequel.
Yeah.
Where you pull the tiles out of the bag, and on each tile, it tells you how that tile can move then. And after you move that tile, you flip it over. So it's sort of like chess-ish.
Yeah, because
It's in that...
each character has their own special move.
Yeah.
Like
so, and it's very much like Onitama. In that respect, where the characters do the different moves. But in the Duke, where they just slide, and Jarl, they can jump, they can hit your opponent from a distance with archers. It's one of the first games we played.
right after the Duke.
The Duke was the first game we played the first time we went to the cafe that we used to go to.
The game table cafe.
Yep. The first 3 games we played were the Duke, Jarl, and Birds of a Feather.
Yep.
Birds of a Feather is still my top 3 games of all time.
Not a tile placement game though.
No. But Jarl, a Viking tile laying game, is my number 4.
Yep. We've played that with one expansion. We played it with the Mountain.
Yes.
That really destroyed you because
I got stuck.
you got a character that couldn't move
Yes.
from behind it.
Yes, I got stuck.
I'm like, well, I can just take all my time to beat you.
Yeah, you just trapped me there and I couldn't do anything.
Yep. So that was your number 4,
Yes.
Jarl. My number 4, you think you know, because you said it might be something you didn't like and I did.
Yeah.
Would you like to take a guess?
The Night Cage?
The Night Cage.
I did not like that game at all.
I've played this game 5 different times, and every time I played it, I was the only one that liked it. People don't
You didn't like it the first time we played it.
with me.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little finicky.
Because we only got like 8 tiles out, we died.
Yeah.
And it was just...
But then after that, I figured it out. Like, because I didn't think a smart mechanic is just diving off an edge. Because if you're in a corner, just fall into the abyss. You'll come in a corner. You can start anew.
Yeah,
But
I just did not like the game.
yeah, every time I played it with groups of people, everybody's like, this is terrible. I'm like, no, this is great. It's slightly spooky-ish. I wish we would have played with the one creature that takes up half the board. I never got to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a fun, eerie placement game because every time you take a tile, you're making time run out. Because your tiles are your timers as well. But never beat it. Every time I played it, never beat it.
Yeah, you and I beat it.
Did we beat it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then I'm 1 for 4 because all the other times with people
Yeah.
I didn't beat it.
Yeah, we beat it.
But yeah, that's my number 4, The Night Cage.
Yeah, I was not a fan. So my number 3, I'm guessing, is on your list.
Uh-huh.
And that is the game we have taught the most.
No,
Really?
it's not on my list.
We have taught this game more than any other game, and that is Karuba.
Yep, it's not on my list.
Wow, I'm surprised.
It's a fun game, but
It's a bingo-esque game where you have one person pick the tile, they call out the number, and then everybody else finds that tile, and then you place it. So you're trying to get your explorers to temples by building pathways with these tiles. And it's on you to find and figure out the best route with the tiles as they're called. Yeah, we've played this game a ton, especially when it first came out, and then we taught it a ton.
yep.
And every time I've played it, I've really enjoyed it. Again, it fits that niche for me.
I will say Karuba is better than the sequel, which
The
was
Karuba card game?
yeah.
That was awful.
They try to make the IP something more, but
Yeah.
they got it right the first time.
Yep. Karuba is a great game. Easy to teach. Great gateway game into the hobby. Even for those that don't like gaming, it's a good one to get them into.
Right.
So that was my number 3.
My number 3 is probably on your list, and it is Sorcerer City.
So that is my 7.
Okay. 7 out of 25.
7 out of 7.
Yeah.
Because that's as far as I went.
All right. Sorcerer Cities is a fantastic game where you play as a magical wizard city planner. Where every round, like, you don't just place once. You destroy the cities after each round, and you rebuild.
Yeah.
And then, monsters will come out. You have to place certain things next to things. And I think you only have, like, a minute or 2 minutes. It's very frantic.
Yeah.
Because you have a stack of tiles. You're like, I got to figure out where these things can go. And
Yeah, and each round you end up with, you have more tiles
Yep.
that you have to place. So,
you get more tiles, and you get the same amount of time.
yeah.
And there's certain monsters that make it difficult. Like, you can't have any yellows touching any blues this time.
Yeah.
You're like, I have so many yellows.
Yep.
Sorcerer City, great production value. Very fun tile laying game. Box is huge. It's heavy.
Yeah.
If I was to weight it on the scale of what people say weights of games are, I would classify this as heavy because I base my weights on the box.
The box weight, not
Yeah.
the actual gameplay.
If I had a box of checkers that was made out of marbles and like lead, I'm like, man, this is a 70-pound box. This is
Yeah.
a heavy game. But yeah, that's my number 3,
Yeah.
Sorcerer City.
It's a fun game.
It is.
Now my number 2, I believe, has a chance to be on your list
Okay.
as your 2 or 1.
Okay.
And that is Habitats.
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
Wow, I am really surprised about that.
I like Habitats, but it did not make my list.
Man.
I should have put Planets on there. I just realized Planets is a tile laying game. It's a 3-dimensional tile laying game.
Yeah, I guess it is.
I never thought of that.
But Habitats, you're moving the animals around to collect the different tiles from the tile grid. And then you're collecting those tiles and building your wildlife park.
Yep.
And again, that's the simplest way to describe it. Again, you're trying to piece together the different forms of the habitats together to make the large habitats. The new version apparently is incredible production.
I haven't seen the new version.
The
the version we have is pretty good.
We don't have the original.
We have the second one.
We have the second version because the original came with porcelain
Pieces.
pieces.
Which I would be terrified.
But yeah, the production of this game has always been great. The artwork on the tiles is great. Again, it's just you're moving those animals around to collect the habitat tiles and build the largest habitats. Fun game.
See, I thought your number 2 would have been Barren Park.
No, surprisingly, and spoiler, none of those tiling games are on here.
The Ubin... No, it's not.
UA Rosenberg.
Yeah.
Barren Park, Indian Summer, Cottage Garden, even the button one.
Oh, Patchwork.
Yes.
Yes. I knew what it was called because it's in my book. Yeah.
So that was my number 2. So
My number 2 was a toss-up.
okay.
It came down to 1 or 2 games. It was either going to be what my number 2 is.
Yes. Or what your number 1 is?
No.
Oh, so you the number 2 are not on your list?
Yeah.
That's weird.
It was either going to be number 2 or replaced by this game.
Okay.
Because that's how my list rolls.
It didn't become your number 3 game.
No, it'd just be off my list. It was either going to be Carcassonne, which I don't like.
Okay.
I can't tell you how much I don't like the game Carcassonne,
Okay.
but it might have made my number 2 because I can relate to it with good memories.
Yeah.
Because when I was in the hospital, instead of family, parents and whatnot visiting me, I had
Well, because our parents were 4 hours away.
excuses.
And you did have family visit you. I visited.
Well, I meant family that
An extended family visited you.
I did not know who they were. They were complete strangers.
They were family.
That's made them strangers to me. But I had the owners of the game shop show up. I had Tom.
Yeah.
He came with the travel size Carcassonne to play one day. And I'm like, okay, because I didn't want to tell Tom I don't like the game, so I played it on the little this big game little table back there. Then the next day, Tom's wife came, and she brought Carcassonne Travel again, and I played it.
Yeah.
And the next day, their son came with Travel Carcassonne, so I played that game 3 days in a row. I'm like, it's a nice little memory.
So as much as you're talking about it, it's still not your number 2.
No, because I had to separate that from I don't like the game.
Okay.
But
So what is your number 2?
my number 2, I kind of like the game, but I got bumped into number 2 for the emotions I put with it, and that's Patchwork.
Okay.
Because I would go to the game table early Thursdays because that's when we had Pathfinder.
Yeah.
So I would be there for about an hour or so before we would start, and Tom's wife, Laura, I kept trying to think of her name. Laura would be working, so it would just be me and her. So Laura really liked the game Patchwork, so I ended up playing Patchwork like 80 times in my life because I would play and then we would talk about random things. So I'm like, as much as this game's not my great tile laying game,
Yeah.
I have such good memories of playing it with somebody. So that's why I bumped all the way up to my number 2, Patchwork.
Okay. It's weird that's how those two are either on your list or off your list.
Well, because I'm like, how high do I put, a feeling of a game while I played it?
Well, that's part of what makes it in your top 5.
Because I rather
is the feeling.
Yeah, because I'd rather play my 3, 4, or 5 more than my 2, but I have stronger connection with 2.
Yeah.
But I couldn't bump it to 1. Just
So my number 1 is the game that you'll probably argue the most with me on
okay. I can probably figure it out.
because it is not tiles.
It's cards.
It's cards.
So it's probably Sporopolis.
Yep, it is Sprawlopolis.
And not one of their 18 add-ons.
No, just Sprawlopolis. Boy, do I love Button Shy games.
They are a great company.
They just fit me in the length, in the style, and Sprawlopolis just hits the home run of that city building with the different scoring on the back of each card, having to maybe have the longest road or the largest building area or whatever scores different points. And I can play that over and over and over. Mm-hmm. I did think about Unsurmountable, but that's not tile laying or card laying. That's more of a route building because you can only lay the cards in the mountain shape.
Now, would you consider...
Circle the Wagons fits in.
I was thinking the one with the graves.
Skulls of Sedlick?
Yeah,
No. I would... If I would put that, because, again, with that one, you can only lay them a certain... You can only build that pyramid.
Yeah.
And that's the same with Unsurmountable, is you can only build it in a pyramid.
Yeah.
So it isn't really what I consider the true sense of
placement,
tile placement, mm-hmm. or card placement. Because like Carcassonne, you don't have to build in a certain...
No, it can go anywhere.
Yeah. Or even in Patchwork, granted it has to stay in that board, mm-hmm. but... It isn't, you have to do this row first, or do 2 and then 1. Mm-hmm. And that's why Sprawlopolis takes it over those 2. Mm-hmm. If it would just be without that, Skulls of Sedlick would probably be number 1. I absolutely love that game. But because of the tile laying aspect and tile placement aspect, Sprawlopolis is my number 1.
All right. My number 1... is a game we own. It's a game we've played about 3 times or so.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for the big box to come out. Well, to us.
Yeah.
And that is Tang Gardens.
Okay. I think I've only played that once.
No, we played it more than once.
I only played it once, I think.
Because we played it once here. We played it once at the church with Josh.
Okay.
It's a very beautiful game.
Yeah.
Where you are a Chinese emperor's gardener, where your whole job is to make sure wherever guests look, they see wonderful, amazing things like ponds with fishes, or they're not called gazebos, whatever the fancier word for gazebo is.
Yeah.
And mountain ranges and dragons and waterfalls. It's just a very well production of a tile laying game, because you have 4 different tiles you can choose from. You can get like water, you can get rock, you can get land, you can get specialties.
Yeah.
And it's really how you want to score and which guests you want to bring in.
Yeah.
It's a very fun game. I'd say check it out. It's fairly popular. I think that was the highest rating tile laying game I had on my list. Well, no, I think Patchwork was higher than it.
Probably.
But yeah, it was up there for BGG. So those were my top 5 tile placements.
What are your favorite tile placement games? Let us know in the comments. If you have any thoughts on categories for fives, game related, non-game related, leave that down in the comments. And this is our voted segment that Tim comes up with a question for and posts online.
Yep.
And do you remember what question you posted for this month?
I did. I posted, I believe the exact wording is, how long is the perfect length of time for a game for you?
It was, what is your perfect length of time for a board game?
Yeah. And I was asking that as a singular game, not like a day of playing, like just a game. And my options were under 30 minutes.
Yep.
Under an hour.
Well, under 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, or 3+ hours.
Correct. Now, I can tell you, because you can't see the results on your thing, but I can tell you that 30 minutes or less only got 3 votes.
Okay.
Because I was one of those 3.
Yes, I can see that here. So the one that actually came in with the highest amount of, well, we'll go in reverse order.
Okay.
So yes, under 30 minutes had the least amount.
Yes.
Total, there were 468 votes.
Yes.
So that's a good amount of votes.
We could have 469 if somebody would vote, like I tell them to.
So, yeah, 468 votes. That's a good amount of votes and 33 comments, and we'll go through those. So, yeah, under 30 minutes had the least amount.
Yes.
And I see that's where you voted.
Yep.
And that's where I would vote.
Well, that's why I voted there. Because my vote would have been 3+ hours. Well, because I really enjoyed Pathfinder and games like that.
Okay, the RPG games.
Well, then there's people out there that like...
yeah, but this is you.
Yeah.
So...
But, you know, I like, you know, the role-playing games.
Yes.
Like, if I had the option, that would be my main game of play.
So then why didn't you pick that?
Well, because I wanted to because if I'm going to play a game, most likely I'm going to play with you.
Yeah. But that isn't your perfect length of game.
Yeah, but you get frazzled at, like, the 31-minute mark.
No.
You're like, this is stupid. Yeah, throw the table.
No, I enjoy shorter games.
Yeah. I'd rather have as long a game as possible.
Though I did enjoy the 8-hour Through the Ages game that I was in, but again, that's the group of people I was with.
Yeah.
So if there's more people involved, I think I expect it to be longer, and I'm okay with that. If it's just 2 of us, if it's a really long 2-player game, I start to get weary of it.
Like if you and I were just playing Robinson Crusoe, a story-based...
Well, that's a story-driven game. If it's like a 4-hour game of Bonanza, you know...
Well, we'll get into that kind of topic when we get to the comments.
Or a 4-hour game of Patchwork.
Yeah.
That's different. Those games are made to be shorter. Where a story-driven game, I expect to be longer. So, yeah, if it'd just be a 2-player like Robinson Crusoe where it's long, where I know the game's longer. So anyways, 30 minutes had the least amount of votes. Then 2.5 hours came in next.
Yep. I was trying to think of a game that's 2.5 hours long. I'm thinking any game that says like 40 minutes per player.
Yeah.
But then I'm trying to think of those games.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever really been into that longer. We haven't played those longer games.
Yeah.
3+ hours was next. Then 2 hours.
Yep.
Which we fit in a lot of those games in that 2 hour. And then 1.5 was the winner.
Yeah.
Which
then followed by 1 hour.
Or yeah. So 2 hours, 1 hour, 1.5 hours. So 1.5 hours was the top vote getter, 2 hours, and then 1. I think most games do fall in that 1.5 to 2 hour time frame. And I am good with those. If it's a 3 and 4 player game. If it's a 2-player game, I'm not expecting it to go that long.
Now, I'm wondering if people, when they were answering this question, were factoring in them playing like the optimal playing with like people that know the game in the same group, or them just playing out in the wild with random people that don't know the game and tax on more time.
Well, yeah, the first time you play a game, it always adds on time, too.
Like if I'm playing a brand new game that I don't know with 3 people that have never played board games before, and they're like, I'm in charge of teaching them.
Well, yes, that's going to take more time.
Yeah. But
that's not necessarily what is your optimal time game. That's not the question you asked.
no, but I'm thinking, is that what they're thinking in their head when they're answering it?
No.
Because that's how I think I would answer it. I assume every time I sit down to play a game,
No.
it's the first time anybody's ever played board games.
No, I'm thinking when I look at game times, what do I enjoy the most?
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy shorter games.
Yes.
So, but I also know the first time I play it, or if I play it with people who don't know it, it's going to take longer.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm not going to vote for a game that says 20 minutes because I know the first time I play it, it's going to take an hour because of teaching people. It's not going to make me hate the game.
No, but
it's not going to make me change my vote here either.
No, but I'm saying those people put together that game took that long because that's how long it took them to play it, or what they think it should have taken.
Well, the time on the thing's always just a rough estimate.
No, I know that, but I'm saying when they answered the question, were they in the frame of mind of, it averages about this long for us to play it because every time we're playing it, we play
I'm guessing most people did not come on to the question and think, okay, I'm sitting down with myself who knows the game and 4 other people who have never touched a board game in their life.
Well, see, that's how I took the question.
You know, I'm sure that's not how they were thinking.
Those people were thinking wrong for how I worded it.
So some of the comments, I don't even know games below 4 hours. Depends. They all have a place, and I agree with that. Depends on the game. I don't want to play a 2-hour game of Quicks or a 30-minute game of Gloomhaven.
And see, I think a 30-minute Gloomhaven would be amazing.
Depends. The longer, the better. 3 to 4 hours. I like games that allow an in-depth experience. After 1.5, 2 hours, I'm still ready to keep playing. So yeah, this question I think really depends a lot on the person.
I also wonder about like in the community, the big game is Magic.
Yeah,
I wonder if any Magic players voted because the length of a game isn't that long, but they'll play for like 3 hours because it's multiple plays in a row. So they would think 3 hours.
Well, here's an interesting comment. So American attention spans flag pretty hard at 90 minutes. This research is well established by the film industry and is being echoed by the poll, which, yes, 1.5 was the top getter.
Yeah.
Most people, is why modern movies are miserable. So please stop having opinions about games too.
I'll try.
I think it depends greatly on the type of game. Take family games. You don't want them to go longer than 30, 45 minutes. Yeah, if you're sitting there playing a family game, Ticket to Ride, it's the family. You don't want a 4-hour game with the kids who's going, this is terrible because I've been sitting here 4 hours.
Yeah, it depends on the kid.
30 to 60 minutes. Depends on the day and the mood. I think that's a lot of it, too, for people. That's a big thing for me. 30-minute dungeon crawl before X would be dumb. So would a game targeted 7 to 9-year-olds that take 2.5 hours. Yeah, I would agree there.
Now, are we selling the children short, though?
Well, no. Again, because every person is different. No set time, but I've noticed the pattern of 3 to 4 hours. Me and my group played Dune Imperium in that time. I honestly don't know how you could play it in 60 to 90 minutes max.
Speed Dune.
For me, there's no set time as long as the game doesn't overstay its welcome. I think that's a big thing too. When you get to the point of a game and you're like, I'm just ready for this to be over, that's when that game's time should...
That's when the game ends? You're like, I am done.
Well, no, but just that, if it's a really long game, but everybody, when people play it after a certain amount of time, they're like, man, this is really when this game should be over. Maybe that game has overstayed its welcome or it's too complicated for what the type of game it is. 69 minutes sweet spot. Depends on the game, 1-2 hours for most, but I do enjoy a game of 18XX or Twilight Imperium once in a while. We've never played an 18X.
Yeah, a Viking game.
18XX?
Yeah, wasn't it like
18XX are train games.
Oh, what am I thinking of? Like the 1848 Viking.
18, yeah.
I thought that was part of the 18 series.
No, 18XX is the train games.
No. I don't believe in trains.
Depends on the group, game, day, or evening session, player count. That's a big one. Especially when we were playing at the place we used to play. Depending who I was playing with, I could deal with a longer game, or, man, did I want that game to end quick, depending on who I was playing with. I'd play with anybody, but there are some people that I just had a harder time playing with.
See, I wouldn't play with anybody. I was a snob there.
Yep.
I'm like, excuse me, I don't know you. Get lost.
As long as the game needs to be, it depends on the type of game. Flow is what matters most. It could take 8 hours for TI4. I would dislike 4 hours of Tapestry. It's a good thought. Flow of the game.
I could see Tapestry taking that long if you have a total of the 6 players.
After the setup, about an hour is great. Yeah, sometimes the setup takes just as long as playing the game.
See, now I wonder if they thought that when they asked the question. Because that is part of the game.
How many times did we set up Ex Libris before we actually played it? Multiple times.
Same with Powerline.
Power Grid.
Power Grid. And we never did play Power Grid.
No. So
set it up, though, a couple times.
Yeah, I would say under 30 minutes is my sweet spot. Hour and a half under, I'm good with. We start to get over that. I start to get antsy. Depending on the group. Like I said, that 8 hour Through the Ages I was okay with. It was a good group that I was playing with. And a lot of that was just learning and getting through those first couple turns. So, if you didn't hit the poll, check it out in Board Game Revolution community. Tim puts it up every month.
Yep. I try to do it early in the month. This month I kind of let it go because I couldn't think of a question.
If you have a question that you'd like to see people answer, put that down in the comments. And this is our segment, Backed. So, what 3 games are we up to here, Tim?
Well, in the segment Back, we look back upon the games that I've backed in the past. Mostly out of, me want to do it. But every now and then, almost every time, we have one game that you made me back.
No, not every time.
Surprisingly, this is one of the times where you had no input.
Yes.
I know, it's surprising.
Which means they're probably not good games.
One is bad.
One is bad.
Yes.
Okay.
But the first game backed for this month, for this episode, is from Lucky Duck Games.
All right.
It funded March 20th, 2018.
All right.
Their goal was $15,000.
Yeah.
And they raised, now I rounded the numbers off so I didn't have to put the whole thing, but they raised roughly $800,000.
Okay.
They were like 3,000 shy from 800.
Now, is this the bad game?
No.
Because it's a great game.
It is.
We're bad at it.
Yes. But you keep blaming the butler.
No, we just never get far enough to figure it out.
It's true. And the game is?
Chronicles of Crime.
Chronicles of Crime.
Great game.
I think this is the first board game we own. Well, no, this is the second board game we own that relied on an app.
Okay.
The first one we own has been discontinued, unfortunately.
Okay.
And that's Drop Mix.
Oh, yeah.
Sadly enough. R.I.P. Drop Mix. But yeah, Chronicles of Crimes is a app-driven game where you're given cards with QR codes on them, and everything is just picture-based.
Yeah.
They'll have a face or an object or just a word like an item. It'll just say item. You'll scan.
Yeah.
It'll tell you what it is.
Yeah, using your phone, and you can put the little 3D glasses on it and look, and when you turn your phone,
Yeah.
it's really cool. We have not even done the first case,
Yeah.
and there's so much yet we got to play. We just need to set it up
To play
and
down here.
do it.
Yeah,
We have a lot of games like that.
it's true.
This pile sitting next to me. There's a whole bunch upstairs, and we just need to set it up.
Yeah.
And we're getting into my busy time of year where that won't happen.
Well, I think during the summer I might set up games down here that are just solo games, because then I only just need one camera.
Yeah.
But Chronicle of Crimes. This was the first Chronicle of Crimes
Yep.
Kickstarter where it was just that, and
It was just the base game, wasn't it?
it came with the base game and like a couple promo cards. It wasn't too fancy.
Yeah. But Chronicles of Crime, great game. If you have not played it, which at this point in time,
I mean, there's other games that now do this.
yes.
Like,
But definitely check it out.
I think the big one that's overtaken this is Murder in Hong Kong.
Deception, Murder in Hong Kong? No.
But the only difference between that is this one's story driven and that one's Who's Done It.
Well, Deception, Murder in Hong Kong, that's a party style game. I love that game. With the group I played with.
Yeah. Number 2 for back this month. This is the bad game, which is very sad because when I went back, because every time I make the list, like go back, I'm like, because at first I'm like, you must have made me back this because I'm thinking, because I wrote it down, like, so I clicked on the video, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. This had me so excited. I'm like, this theme's awesome.
Do we own this?
We do.
Is it in our house?
It is. I can tell you where it is. It's in the bookcase in the living room.
Okay.
And I'm like, man, this game's gonna be awesome. It has a great theme. And this is really when we were still pretty new to the hobby because this is still 2018. So this was funded in March 23 of 2018.
Okay.
So 3 days after Chronicles of Crime.
All right.
Their goal was 25,000. They raised roughly 600,000.
Okay.
This is Facade Games, which if I told you what they did, I would give away. But this game is Deadwood 1876.
Oh, we haven't played it.
We have. We played it once. And the problem with this game, looking back on it now,
I didn't play it.
yeah, I'll jog your memory because this game, the theme is
We played it with people at the game table. We didn't play our copy.
No, you're thinking of the ship one. This one is you are outlaws and sheriffs, and you're trying to get
You didn't play it with me.
because it plays. The problem is it plays from 2 to 9 players.
Yeah.
and that should have been a red flag not to get it.
All right. Well, you didn't play this with me.
If I brought it down, you would look at it and you'd be like, "Oh yeah." Your memory is terrible. You forget things like a minute ago. You're not going to
I'll tell you, I have not played this.
You get a card that tells you who you are
Yeah.
and your power. Then you get a little meeple of your person, and there's chips out there that will say like bank, saloon, train station, and there's gold in safes and all of them. The whole premise of this game is you make allies and you stab people in the back.
I did not play this.
Well, that's because playing at 2, you don't get to do any of that stuff. At 2 players,
Yes, but still, I have not played this game.
okay, don't trust him. He's played this game.
I haven't.
You know, this is the person that claims I've never been left in Ohio,
Which
I
he
have.
hasn't. He hasn't.
But yeah, at 2 players, you really can't build allies and stab people in the back because it's one other person. So when a game says 2 to 9, you should either take a hard look and be like, okay, this is either best at like 2 to 4 or 5 on up. And that's what this game is. This game is made for like a 5
Yeah.
plus.
It's a party game.
But they didn't market it that way
Yeah.
originally. They marked it as the game that you could play from 2
Yeah.
to 9, and it's a completely different game at 2. Fun theme where you're all outlaws and you're all trying to get gold, and you know at the end of the game you can only have so many people win, so you gotta figure out who you're gonna bring with you, who you're gonna backstab.
Yeah.
But that was
Deadwood.
Deadwood 1876. They're the ones that do the bookshelf games
Yeah.
like Salem,
Yeah.
Tartuga.
We did that at the game table. I know that.
We did Tartuga there, and Bristol, and Hollywood's their newest one.
Okay.
But yep, that's Deadwood 1876. The next game, or the last one for this month of back, I don't believe you played with me.
Okay.
It funded March 30th, so 7 days later. This was a real big month for March.
Yeah, apparently you had lots of money.
Well, the Deadwood one was like 27. I think this was the most expensive one that I backed. This one was like 70. This funded March 30th, 2018.
Okay.
The original goal was 30,000. They raised 220,000.
Okay.
So they raised the least amount of money, but I dare say they had the biggest production
Okay.
of all the games. It's from Druid City Game.
Okay.
And that's Sorcerer City.
Well, yes, I played this.
See, now you believe you played this one.
Well, I know I did. It was on my list of tile laying games.
See, now they have to watch our top 5 since you
Yes.
talk about tile laying games. This was marketing by me. You gotta believe in my crazy strategies. But Sorcerer City is a tile placement game where you are a sorcerer of city development,
Yeah.
is the best way to put it.
Yes.
And each round you have to build the city, and then I guess the council's like, nah, I don't like it. And you
Yeah.
tear the whole city apart. They give you more things to build in there. And you get like 2 minutes to build your thing out. Everybody builds at the exact same time. Everybody's trying to score their own way. And each time like a monster comes up, they give you like different problems that like you can't have things touching each other, you can't use certain tiles, and
Yeah.
chaos reigns.
Yeah. It's a a really good game, and the production is amazing.
Oh yeah. Out of the 3, it's the best produced game.
And that was Druid City yet at that time.
Yes, it was still marked as
Druid City. And their production is just incredible. Even now as Skybound, because they still market Skybound and the little Druid City things on there. Their production is incredible. And granted, this is 99% tiles.
Yep. The box is heavy as all can be. There's so much cardboard.
It is an incredible production.
Well, no, there's also, because our version was the deluxe, so we also have like 10 pounds of metal coin that's in the middle.
Yeah. Production was great. And James Hudson, good guy.
Yep.
We got to meet him at Gen Con.
Yep.
I got my picture with him because one of my favorite publishers, and just a really cool dude.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah. He's riding a production high because he got the new hotness game right now, the Wonderland Wars.
Oh yeah,
People love that game. That's Druid City.
yeah. But for this month here, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yep. When we get upstairs, I'll show you Deadwood, and once you see the pieces, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, that
I
game."
won't.
Mm-hmm.
But so that is our backed for April of 2023.
Yep.
Did you back any of these games? Sorcerer City was again really backed.
I think the best odd would probably be Chronicles of Crime because they reached 800,000.
Yeah, and Chronicles of Crime was highly backed.
But 220 just for Sorcerer City, the lowest one of the 3.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
But did you back any of these games? And what are you currently backing? What are you waiting for? Leave those down in the comments. This is our off-topic segment.
Yep. And for the month of April, Doug has got to choose the off-topic. So let's find out together what the off-topic is.
So Tim says I never ever prepare for an off-topic.
Never.
So he always tries to just randomly think of what I'm going to talk about. But guess what? I prepared.
His off-topic is paper.
I prepared.
All right. Well, if you want to know where paper's made around us, it is Smithsburg?
No.
Darn.
Spring Grove.
I knew it started with an S. I've been through that. It smells terrible.
Yes, it does.
And
I almost died there.
It's the smell of the glue in the paper. Ugh.
I almost caught on fire there.
From paper?
No. That was that festival where those people tried putting water on the grease fire.
Roosterpalooza.
Yes.
I tried to tell them not to, but they were too drunk.
Yeah, they tried putting water on a grease fire, but I'm standing there with a fire extinguisher, and Tim is yelling at them, "Don't turn the water on." So, yes. But no, it is not about paper. Tim has quizzed me now multiple times.
Twice.
So I have come up with a quiz for Tim.
Okay, I'll ace it.
I don't know.
I'm confident. I'm 1,000% sure of myself.
So, this isn't one of the questions, but what do you think the quiz is about?
Well, it is April. I'll say hockey.
No.
Playoff hockey.
No.
Jets football players.
Yep. It is actually about The Simpsons.
I was hoping for Jets football players.
So, The Simpsons is, I don't know, is that your favorite show of all time?
It's probably my number one.
Yeah.
It's a close race, but I would give it to them just for like.
Simpsons is my 1A, 1B, depending on the day and how I feel about MASH that day. Between MASH and The Simpsons are 1A, 1B, interchangeable.
Mine's Simpsons, then Avatar: The Last Airbender. Just great storytelling.
So, I have 10 questions.
Okay.
We'll see how well Tim does here.
If it's anything from season 7 on down, I should do pretty good since I'm rewatching the whole series.
All right. So some of these are pretty easy. Some of these are not. Some of these I have multiple choice. What is Homer Simpson's mother's name?
I should know this. The episode I watched last night is when they introduced her. It started with an M. It is...
Do you want the multiple choice?
No. I am right with an M, though, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm going through, because they do the little bit where they do all the different licenses.
Yep.
And they all start with an M. It's like Marjorie and Matilda, and she actually does use Maggie, which is the funny thing I didn't notice back then. There had been a name from the 60s, because Homer was born in the 70s. Before the retcon. Yeah. 60s name that starts with an M. I'll go with Madeline.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I know it's not right, but I'll go with it.
Mona.
Mona Simpson, yeah.
That's the only one I didn't write down the multiple choice with it. Which of these actors has never appeared as a guest voice?
Okay.
Martin Sheen?
Okay.
Charlie Sheen? Mm-hmm. Meryl Streep? Or Winona Ryder?
I know Meryl Streep has. She voiced Maggie one episode. I believe Winona Ryder has. And the other ones were both Sheens.
Martin Sheen and Charlie Sheen. But not Emilio Estevez.
Yep. I'll say Charlie's never been on the show.
Final answer?
Yeah.
You are correct.
Yeah.
What is the name of the restaurant where Homer was poisoned in season 2? Do you want the multiple choice?
Well, let me first take a guess. Is it the Frying Dutchman?
Okay. Do you want the multiple choice?
So it wasn't the Frying Dutchman. Because I know that's one of the seafood restaurants. Alright, what are the sushi restaurants' names?
Up, and Buffet?
No.
The Happy Sumo?
Maybe.
Sushi of the Sea? Tajma All You Can Eat?
I'll say the Happy Sumo.
Final answer?
Yeah.
It is the Happy Sumo.
Because I know the Sea Captain's restaurant's the Frying Dutchman.
Yes. What is Chief Wiggum's wife's name?
Chief Wiggum's wife.
You want the multiple choice?
Let me think here. Miss Wiggum's name is... His name is Clancy. Her name is... I'll say it's Nancy.
Final answer?
Give me the multiple choice, but I'm saying Nancy before you give choices.
Laura, Sarah, Rachel, Mandy.
It's Sarah.
Sarah.
Sarah, where's the remote? Because he shoots the TV.
Hank Scorpio gets Homer to decide which countries he likes the least so he can destroy it. Mm-hmm. What were the options given to Homer? Do you want the multiple choice?
Yeah, the only thing I remember about Hank Scorpio is getting him the Broncos. The year before the Broncos win the Super Bowl. Which is funny because Homer's like, the Broncos, they suck. And then they win the Super Bowl this year.
All right. The multiple choice. Italy and Germany.
Okay.
Germany and France.
Mhm.
Italy and France.
Mhm.
Spain and Italy.
Germany and France.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Italy and France. You do not win the Denver Broncos.
No. Well, that's okay. They're okay.
All right. Which proposed law would see Apu and other immigrants deported from Springfield?
Vote yes on Bill 18.
Do you want the multiple choice?
No, I'm confident on 18.
I'll give you the multiple choice. Proposition 21, Proposition 22, Proposition 24, or Proposition 28?
It's either 21 or 22 because Homer gets it wrong by one number. He does a commercial. Vote no on 21, and Lisa says no. It's no on 22. So 21.
Proposition 24. And you should know this one because you just watched this episode the other night.
Okay.
Which Paul McCartney song can you play backwards to hear a recipe for a really rippin' lentil soup? Do you want the multiple choice?
It's not Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts because Apu sings that. And it's not Live and Let Die because that's the song they mess up. Is it...
So you really only have two other songs to choose from Paul McCartney.
And I'm not great with my Paul McCartney because it's not a Wings song. I know that. It's one he wrote while he was with the Beatles. It wasn't Let It Be. What are the choices?
Band on the Run.
No.
Live and Let Die.
No.
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club.
No.
Maybe I'm Amazed.
I'll say that one.
Which one?
Maybe I'm Amazed.
Yep. So if you play that backwards, apparently there's a recipe for a really rippin' lentil soup.
That's when he was still married to his wife.
When the family goes to New York,
Okay.
what is the name of the musical they see? Would you like the multiple choice?
They go see a musical in New York. I want to say Rats, but that's not it.
Would you like the multiple choice?
I'll take the multiple choice.
Kicking It, a musical journey through the Betty Ford Center,
Yeah.
or I'm Checking In, a musical journey through the Betty Ford Center.
I would say the first one because the second one I think is the song that they sing. Because they sing, I'm checking in.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's called Kicking It.
It is called Kicking It, a musical journey through the Betty Ford Center.
Okay.
Though I'm Checking In would be a great song for that.
Yeah.
And it is the song that they're singing.
Yeah.
Here's a very obscure question.
Okay.
Some of these have been obscure,
Mm-hmm.
but this is like very, very obscure. What name does Milhouse attempt to enter when he's playing the Bone Storm video game?
Thrill House.
Would you like the multiple choice?
I'm sticking with Thrill House.
Are you sure?
Yes.
That is correct.
Yep.
I'm really surprised you got that.
I remember his reaction to it. He's like, Thrill House. And he's like super excited about putting it.
And question number 10.
Mm-hmm.
What Scottish town is groundskeeper Willie from? Would you like the multiple choice?
Let me see if I can think of a quick pun, because that's something the writers would have done. Those Harvard writers. They would have probably gone with, like, Glasskill or something, but I'll take the multiple choices, because that's probably a better joke than that.
Killtown,
Ooh, that's pretty good.
North Killtown,
That's funnier.
Loch Ness,
Yeah.
or South Killtown?
It's one of the two kill towns. It's not just Killtown. So it's either south or north. Which is funnier? I think North Killtown sounds funnier.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That is correct.
Okay. I had to think like a Harvard writer.
So you can score Tim however you want it because he made guesses before the multiple choice.
I mean, there are 38 seasons or something like that.
But so those were just 10 random questions I came up with for The Simpsons. Mm-hmm. So I actually did come prepared.
Yep.
Are you surprised?
A little. I'm assuming you just heard me listening to the show and you're like, I'll just write these down as questions.
But no, I didn't. I actually looked some of those up. Mm-hmm. So that was our off topic for April 2023.
Yeah.
If you have an off topic that you would like us to talk about, or maybe a topic you'd like us to come up with 10 random questions,
or try things, or go places,
quiz each other, or would you like us to try the food? We can try certain foods. I'm on a health program.
If you want a video where Doug goes to the Northeast Pennsylvania because he's big into traveling and do a squonk hunt.
Yeah.
And videotape it.
If you don't know what the squonk is, watch one of our previous
the Pennsylvania game episode.
Yes.
I like to see Doug do a squonk hunt.
Yeah. But leave some comments down in the comments.
Leave words in the place where you leave the words.
Yeah. Hit that thumbs up. Ring the bell. Share the video. Thank you for watching.
As always, stay sweet.